Hey YouTube, can you tell a theme today? Yeah, anyway, I did a video last month, something like that, where I was trying to compare our P90 sized humbuckers. I think they might be called P94s if you're a Gibson. Are they the same as actual P90s? And the guitars I used for comparison were my Epiphone SG there, which has they were described as fat cats. So they are you can drop these into your humbucker SG or your humbucker guitar, and they're humbucker sized P90s. Whoop. But the reason I was kind of wondering was I bought a guitar. It was actually a Washburn Stage Series similar to that, but it was white, and it had ones like that in it. But they were like, you get ones that instead of being silver, they've got like an edge around the cover and then a black plastic bit in it. A P90 sized bucker. And then when I actually took it to bits, I didn't plan this very well. That's what was inside it. So as you can see, it's basically the same size as a Strat pickup. It's still got the back plate on it, and I angle grinded it to make it the same shape as a telly pickup and put it in this. Absolutely love it in that guitar. Didn't like it in the guitar it was in before. So I don't know how. Like in below, I tried taking that. I took them out to see if it was the same inside, but I don't know. See, I was assuming that the pickup, obviously, it can't be as wide as a P90. In fact, I actually got P90 sitting there. There. So a P90. I was assuming that the coil is the whole size of this. It's a big thing, and I assumed that inside the humbucker cover it would be, like a big coil the size of a humbucker. But no, it's not. It's just a regular single one. So whether they're all like that, I can't say. But I wonder if is there something, because I do still think that the one in the Shockingbird there does sound a bit like a P90. So is it just overwound with a more powerful magnet or a different type of magnet or something like that to make it sort of P90-ish, or is it a completely different thing? Is it basically, am I just sitting here with two, not this guitar, sorry. They both look the same. Is that just basically two Strat pickups in below a big cover? I tend to say it isn't. This is the guitar I compared it to. Because this is, well, it kinda looks a bit SG-ish. But actually when you look at it, like, as if you're going for a like-for-like comparison, this does have the P90s, these are G&L ones. This is the differences are basically every single thing apart from the fact it kind of looks a bit like an SG. So it's like the body's made of sycamore or something else, not mahogany. The scale length's a Strat scale length. It's got a maple fingerboard. It's got a 3-piece neck. It's a bolt-on. It's only got 2 knobs. It's like, it's basically not. It wasn't really a fair comparison. The two guitars would be completely different anyway. Whereas now, I can compare my newly built Monkey Tony Iommi SG guitar, which has, okay, it's got a wraparound bridge and it's a vintage brand as opposed to an Epiphone, but the vintage and the Epiphone are quite similar anyway. The modern Epiphones are quite similar to this era of vintage anyway. The one I've got is a little bit thinner, and I think it's less like a Gibson. This one feels more like the Gibson than the Epiphone one does. The Epiphone one possibly a better guitar. It's a slightly different thing. The thing that always gets me about this when you compare the two is it doesn't really look that bad. But see if you look, this one feels dead thin. See if you look there, where the pointy bit is. You can really see it. It kind of chamfers in from the sides, whereas this one is a lot more square. The Gibson is an awful lot more square, so it's kind of more like the Gibson in that respect. So I'm going to do a wee, I've rabbited on enough, I'm going to do a wee bit of fancy switching between the two, playing something. So here's a P90 in the bridge. I'll not bother messing about with the amp. I'm playing through the Lady VC30, no pedals are on. Right, sorry. Now I've got it hovering over the pause button. So this is the epiphone one now. So we've got the neck pickup. Press it twice. When I went from this one, this is the first time I tried this at all. This is completely new to me. I've not done any comparisons yet. When I first went from this one on the bridge pickup to that one on the bridge pickup, I felt that one had more output. Now going from the neck on that one to the neck on this one, they sound exactly the same, I think. Put the distortion on. Then go to the bridge pickup. That'll probably make them sound more the same using the Joyo US Dream pedal. So. So I don't know. I wonder how easy it's going to be to switch through. I know YouTube compresses these things, and I'm recording it through a relatively expensive. What's going on with my hair this morning? It's just wet. I'm using a decent mic. It's just mic'd up there. I suppose that guitar I've had since I was 18, so I know it inside out totally. This one's a bit more different. I've only had this a couple of weeks. This one's got roto sound strings on it that are new. That has elixirs on it that are ancient. I think those pickups are much more expensive. This is going back, maybe 10 years or something when I bought them in. So I think that might even have been sort of pre-Warmany Wilkinson era. So maybe they were really expensive. I seem to remember paying 30 quid for the pair of them, second hand, and they were cheap because they're gold at the time. The gold ones, it just seemed to be cheaper. You seem to be cheaper buying gold hardware, so I just put gold hardware in it. I don't really care. The rest of it's chrome. Yeah. So I don't know. I suppose I'm going to stick in a wee backing track, I think. Middle pickup void down a little bit in both of them. And I'm going to cheat by using a bit. I've got to play a solo over at the weekends. I just let it run, so I'll put bass on it here. original. That's from 1968, this guitar. First. I realise I could have done the flawless switching. I'll do that when I start playing. Oh, out of sight. Leave the drum off. Neck. I'll leave the distortion on. And I'll play through the guitar amp, got the bass sound. Start that again. I'm in trouble for this gig, eh? Neck pick up. I don't want to mess the button. pressed. Good editing, but nah. Why is it difficult to press that button? Just give up pressing the button. Alright, so that's the one that's not really that similar to anyone, but I think there's a little bit of in many ways this does, even though these are really expensive pickups, it does kind of sound more like the vintage than that. What I'm thinking is the reason I'm getting on with the epiphone is because it's maybe got the same pickup as this, which is the one I've been using in the band. What are the chances of this being in tune? Hopefully, let's just assume that it's going to be in tune. See what happens. I'll try and do that intro bit again, which I've still not nailed what really worked out what I'm doing. Is it in tune? One shot. The epiphone. That's really annoying, that button's not working. I reckon that actually that bridge pickup sounds most like this bridge pickup. So going by that, my conclusion might be different watching back in the video, but feel wise, I'm thinking that the relatively cheap P90s and the Tony Iommi SG, which is on the wall, getting them lost, are closer to the expensive American G&L P90s in this than they are to what's in this, and this is closer to what's in that. So is it good, is it bad? So are these P90s? So the answer is I don't know. They're definitely high powered something, and they're somewhere between a single coil and a P90, I think. But much brighter, much less balls. And when I'm saying that the too many guitars to point at, like this one as I said is Strat scale, so the neck pickup sounded really much more bell like, but it's a longer scale compared to the vintage, the Tony Iommi, because it's the same scale as this. Shockingbird's the same scale as this as well, so the three that have really been playing there are all kind of similar. Well, the Shockingibird is a bolt on. Yeah, so it's interesting, isn't it? Well, is it interesting? I'm finding it interesting. Whether it is or not is really not for me to say, I suppose. is a baritone guitar. It does do fancy stereo stuff, which I've not got to set up just now. This is not the right sound for this one. What I really want is a buzz pedal. I think I've hit the space bar. So humbuckers. Yeah, well, I did actually in 2 seconds there tune this up, but it really needs new strings, or just general less dead feeling. This is, and like maybe even just playing it for 10 minutes might wake it up a little bit. It just feels a bit sort of, the strings are a bit stiff and sort of dry feeling. Yeah, so I don't know if there's any conclusions to be had. My let's shoot things out conclusions are always just totally random. It's really just, it depends what it is you think, what you think sounds better. I mean, I've got expensive guitars, and that's the one day I'm playing a gig with it's just made it a joist. It seems, I don't know, maybe it's because it's so crap that it really makes me, I can own this. Whereas, like, you know, I am the greatest Shockingbird player in the world. Got quite a bit to go to be the greatest SG player in the world. There's quite a lot of them. Obviously, the reason I'm the greatest Shockingbird player is because no one else has got one. It's the only one that exists. So no one else has ever played it. I don't think anyone's ever. I suppose a couple of people have maybe had a shot of it for a couple of minutes, but no one's ever played a whole song on it. Yeah, so. That, to me, if that's a P90, and that one, the Fat Cat one, that's a P90 as well, even though it doesn't look like one, because that sounds very similar to that. Quite a lot brighter than the actual P90s. I think, which kind of, to be honest, going between the two, it almost sounds better. Maybe, I don't know. The ones that are in the Thor, the Aria Thor, are very expensive P90s, whereas none of the other ones are. I mean, the ones that are actually in the baritone, this one, are the same pickups as in the Tony Iommi SG, apart from they've got black covers on them. I should really play this more. The thing that this thing really sings with, it's got the stereo option, because you can stick one pickup through a bass amp and the other pickup through the guitar amp, and have fuzz on the guitar amp, and it just sounds thunderous. But seeing as I've already got a loop running with the bass and the drums on, I didn't have time to plug it in there. No, I'm thinking, is it worth doing? I'm already at 27 minutes. Not worth it. So happy Saturday. I'll see you for tomorrow night's live stream. I'm doing this a little bit in advance because I've got a gig tomorrow night. So tonight, if you're looking at this on Saturday, which you should be. In fact, I might be actually playing the gig while this goes live. I can't remember what time we're on at. Maybe not. that'll be on probably by about past. I don't know what time we're on at, but yeah. So tomorrow night's live stream will be probably maybe not the first, but I doubt very much I'll be drinking. But it'll be a sober stream. So I don't know what I'll do. I'll maybe have to write down something to say and try and work things out. You can maybe ask questions. I'll give you a sensible answer that doesn't involve tons of swearing and calling people bastards and stuff. In jest. So, hope you're halfway through a great weekend. Rock on!